I will give you again first pick.
Okay.
And we'll go one by one here.
Okay.
But give me the Mount Rushmore for your all-time New England Patriots.
Well, let's just share this now together.
And it could be anyone. I'm not putting any BS rules.
Let's just share this moment together.
Let's do
Tom
it.
Brady.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
I mean, every Mount Rushmore for the Patriots starts and ends with Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Now, I happen to believe that any football Mount Rushmore starts and ends with Tom Brady, but there are people out there that will suggest that Peyton Manning's better, and there are younger people out there who suggest that Patrick Mahomes will eventually be better, and then there's old-timers that'll tell you Joe Montana was better. Look, anything football, Mount Rushmore, GOAT, any of this stuff you want to do, Tom Brady must enter the chat. So give me Tom Brady, number one, with a bullet.
Yeah. I mean, the greatest NFL player of all time. I don't want to hear anything anywhere
That's right.
else.
I agree.
Obviously, so that puts him at the top of the Patriots. If we're making an NFL Mount Rushmore, like you alluded to, it's Tom Brady once again.
Yep.
7-time Super Bowl champ. Just when you hear his teammates talk about him, and people outside New England think it's ad nauseum, and obviously they're tired of all the Tom Brady love, but brought the best out of everyone, was the ultimate competitor, never settled, never rested on his laurels, and would empower everyone in the locker room, was the ultimate leader, can relate to anybody, and would do whatever it takes to win. We know by his diet. We know by his training regimen. We know by how long he's able to play. You don't do that. That doesn't just happen. He defied Father Time. And then he said, you know what? I'm done with the grind. I'm done. But the way his game also evolved over the years, and was never the most talented, never the most athletic, never had the best arm, but he always won. And anybody that played against him, they didn't care what the lead was. They knew they had the Grim Reaper on the opposite sideline. That's why you wanted Tom Brady. Because at the end of the day, football is all about winning. You can put up whatever points, you can get whatever stops, go with whatever stats. It's all about winning, and no one did it like him. Who's your second pick on your Mount Rushmore now?
I'm going to greatest tight end of all time, Rob Gronkowski.
Yep.
Now, I do believe when his career is over, Travis Kelce will be considered the GOAT. But I always felt like Gronk was better because Gronk does all the things that Kelce does as well.
Yeah.
Except what I've noticed with Kelce is he's getting older, and this is probably smart strategically, but I'm still giving Gronk more props for this, is that Kelce now, he does not initiate contact. He will run his routes. He's got hands. He'll catch anything in his zip code. No problem there. And he's got nose for the end zone, too. That's greatness. But when he gets that ball, if he is in danger, he will get down or he will get out of bounds. Again, not knocking him. It's going to be the reason he probably will continue his career for many moons. And I do think when it's said and done, the stats, the rings, Taylor Swift, all of those things are going to play into this, and Kelce will be considered the GOAT. But I will always forever argue Gronk because Gronk does all the things I just said. Routes, hands, speed, knack for the end zone, better blocker than Travis Kelce. But also, one of the reasons why Gronk was not able to play as long is because when my man got that rock, he was looking for trouble. You think you're going to come hit me? No, I'm going to run your ass over. How's that sound? So I love that about Gronk, and I think it's also why he didn't play as long as I'm sure we all would have hoped. And he had a ton of injuries as well. But I'm going to go Gronk.
Yeah, I mean, you listed out every reason why. It's a 4-time Super Bowl champ with Rob Gronkowski.
Yeah.
What was he? I think 4-time first-team All-Pro, which is absurd. Led the league in touchdowns, receiving as a tight end.
Yep.
And we saw the evolution of the Patriots offense from what we saw in 2007 when it was Randy Moss, Wes Welker, Dante Stallworth, to 2011 when it was Rob Gronkowski, Aaron Hernandez, and the other playmakers around it. But as a tight end, to be the driver of an offense, I think you said it best. What he does with the ball after he catches it,
that's right,
can take on any number of people. One of his best plays ever was against your Washington football team.
Yep.
When he took on body after body, ran through them. You thought he was dead in the tracks, out of bounds, no, and ends in a huge gain. I think possibly a touchdown. I don't remember because it was the ferocity with which he broke tackles that stood out to me. And this is a guy, Rob Gronkowski, literally the size of a grizzly bear, running routes with the paws like what a grizzly bear has, catching anything, and no one could cover him.
Yep.
You match him up with the linebacker, he's too strong, too athletic, too fast. You match him up with a cornerback or a safety, I mean, he's just too damn big at that point altogether. So I think that's what's so important with his game is that no one could stop him. And when healthy, he was one of the most dangerous offensive players in the NFL altogether. Tom Brady's second on my Rob Gronkowski is second on my Mount Rushmore. Who do you got third on your Mount Rushmore?
I'd like to apologize to Adam Vinatieri because I had a really tough time with this one. I almost went Adam Vinatieri, and then I couldn't. I don't know, bro. Like, I couldn't get around playing for the enemy, right? Like, him going to the Colts and all that. I was like, man, I know you won there too, but I can't put you on this Mount Rushmore. Instead, I went with my gut, which was Ty Law. Adam Vinatieri was in my brain, but my heart from the beginning said Ty Law belongs on this. So that's where I'm going here.
Wow.
I just remember watching Ty Law. You know, I was a kid during his reign and just being like, man, this is a shutdown corner. Like, I almost think Deion really made that term what it is. But post Deion, there was a lot of people trying to force these corners as like some Deion type. Like, there was a lot of marketing around a lot of corners in the league, but none of them were true lockdown guys. Ty Law was. And because of that, because of what he meant to this franchise, all the winning, the leadership, I'm going Ty Law here. And he's still very much involved in Patriots Nation as well. So I'll go Ty Law.
All right, I like that. I mean, Ty Law did eventually play for the Jets, but that guy forever affiliated with the Patriots. And that one of the best cornerbacks I've ever seen play football. So I see why he's on your Mount Rushmore. He's crucial for that first dynasty that they had. I'm going with a guy, I think he'll probably have the least amount of rings on all our Mount Rushmores. But actually, no, because of who my last pick is. But third on my Mount Rushmore, I'm going Vince Wilfork.
Oh, big body.
Best one tech of all time.
Yep.
Yeah, 2 Super Bowl rings. Anchored that defense for like 10 years from 2004 on.
Favorite.
This is a guy that should have had 4 rings. Think of 2007, 2011, him being there. But stuff out of their hands, where that offense just couldn't get over the speed of the Giants' defenses they matched up with. Injuries, I won't get into it. Still haunts me, 2007 and 2011 to this day.
Yeah.
But I just think of, at his size, how talented he was. 6'2", 330 pounds.
Strong as an ox.
Just no one can block him. And it's the job that a great defensive tackle does. Taking on multiple blockers. Opening up everything for the rest of the defense behind him. Eating them up so the linebackers can go and make plays and the blitzers can go and make plays as well. I just think how dominant Vince Wilfork was at his position. And you couldn't run on him. That's just huge for any Patriots defense. You make the opponent one-dimensional on offense, along with how much your scoring will happen too. That's why I put Vince Wilfork on my Mount Rushmore.
By the way, he's making mad bread in the barbecue world, too.
Yeah, look at him.
He's on all these shows, because I watch all this stuff. I love anything barbecue, sign me up, right? He's on all of them. All these, like, celebrity barbecue things, he's there. I think he has some sort of products, whether it's, like, grills or recipes or something. I know he's making a ton of money in that world. And he's just a happy-go-lucky guy, too. Fan favorite, great dude. I'm a big fan of his, so I like that pick. I'm going to go Jules to end my Mount Rushmore. So I have Brady, Gronk, Ty Law, and Julian Edelman. I don't really know how much more Patriots you can get than that. I honestly don't. I think that's a beautiful Mount Rushmore. And Jules, I find myself arguing for his catch against the Falcons in the Super Bowl as the greatest catch I've ever seen. I know a lot of people feel like that David Tyree helmet catch, and there's some others. Obviously, Odell Beckham with the 2-finger, 3-finger catch, whatever he had on Monday Night Football. But I think Julian Edelman's catch against the Falcons, where it bounced up and he caught it before it hit the ground, and it didn't look like it. It looked like it hit the ground. I think that, and it, by the way, was in traffic. He had like 3 or 4 Falcons on him in a pile there, and Jules still came up with that catch. I think that, for my money, is the greatest catch I've ever seen in my life, given the circumstances as well. And he made a ton like that. I'll go Julian Edelman to round out my Rushmore.
Julian Edelman's just happy to be next to Tom Brady on the Mount Rushmore.
Facts.
To be on the same even mountaintop as him.
Facts.
For me, I'm going receiver 2. I'm going Randy Moss. I know he's just 3 seasons, but his first season with them, almost 1,500 yards, 23 touchdowns, set the single-season NFL receiving touchdown record.
Crazy.
Second season playing with Matt Castle, still 11 touchdowns. His last season, the 13 he had before he was traded away the following year in 2010.
Yep.
2009, 13 receiving touchdowns, led the league. He came in, was awakened by being in New England after his 2 awful seasons in Oakland, which I don't blame him. I mean, whatever. You're a product of your environment. He didn't want to be there and was down in the dumps, but gets around Tom Brady, takes a sacrifice to play for the team. And the way fans here talk about him, he is the one. If they can give any ring to any Boston athlete, I think Randy Moss is up there to top anyone's list. To give him a ring, I think it would be, you go in the likelihood, you think of guys like, Jim Rice, you think Ray Bork that didn't win a ring in Boston, you think of a Randy Moss. That's the guys that they would want to have a ring for what they did here. And I just think Randy Moss, I mean, he's the greatest receiver outside of Calvin Johnson that I ever watched. I know there's Jerry Rice, but those 2 are the best receivers I've ever seen play football. That's why I put him on top of my Mount Rushmore. So dominant all 3 seasons with the Patriots.